And don't forget to subscribe to Bagoday Crochet. You can subscribe by clicking this red button right here. And don't forget to click this little bell right there next to it. That way you'll always be notified whenever Bagoday puts on a new video. Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to do the bobble stitch. It's one of my favorite stitches. Look at that texture. Now I've heard on my years on YouTube, a lot of people say they are scared to do the bobble because they think that it's too hard. I'm going to show you that it's not hard at all. It's super easy. There's what the back looks like. And it makes such an interesting texture for anything that you're making. It's super cool. Look at that. It's an awesome stitch. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on it. Now, it doesn't matter what yarn you use, you know. I'm just going to show you how to make the bobble stitch. But if you're interested, the yarn I'm using is called a Lion Brand Boing yarn. Now, you can make the bobble, and it's great for bags, blankets, shawls, sweaters, anything at all that you want to add texture to. The bobble is the stitch to do it with. Okay? Now, when you're making the bobble, no matter what you're making, you want to start with a chain in an even number. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and do a single crochet in the second stitch from the hook. And then we will do one single crochet in every stitch for the length of the chain. So row 1 is just one single crochet in every stitch until you get to the end of the row. Okay, now once you make it to the end of your first row, now when you count your stitches, you'll have an odd number now. Okay? Whatever your stitch count, whatever you started with an even number, and now you'll have an odd number, and that's what you want. So for row 2, we will start the bobbles. We will chain 1 and turn our work. Now this is the back side of our work. Our bobbles are worked on the back side. And when you flip it over to the right side, the bobbles will appear. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to single crochet in the first stitch in the very first stitch right here. Put a single crochet. And now we're going to put a bobble into the next stitch. Now what a bobble stitch is, it's double crocheting 5 stitches together. So what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over and we're going to go into the next stitch and draw up a loop. And we're going to yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on our hook. We're going to do that 5 times. That was number 1. Again, we're going to yarn over, go into the same stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, and go through the first 2 loops on your hook. That's 2 times. Again, yarn over, same stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, and go through the first 2 loops. That's 3 times. Yarn over, same stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, first 2 loops. That's 4 times. One more time. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, and go through the first 2 loops on your hook. And you'll have 6 loops that remain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over and go through all 6 loops on your hook. And what I like to do is tug it tight like that. And then we're going to do one single crochet right into the next stitch. And then when you look on the front side of your work, you've got your first bobble made. Isn't that cool? So now what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of repeat that. We're going to do a bobble again into the next stitch. So we're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch and draw up a loop. We're going to yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on our hook. We're going to do that 5 times total, so that would be our first time. Again, yarn over, go into the same stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on our hook. That's 2 times. Again, yarn over, same stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops on your hook. That's 3 times. Yarn over, same stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. That's 4 times. One more time, we go through the same stitch and draw up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops on our hook, and you'll have 6 loops that remain. Yarn over, go through all 6 loops, give it a little tug to make it tight, and a single crochet directly into the next stitch. When you flip it to the right side, now you got 2 bobbles. Aren't those neat? And then we're just going to repeat that all the way to the end of the row. So we're going to bobble into the next stitch again. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5 times, and I got 6 loops that remain on my hook. Yarn over, go through all 6, give it a tug, and single crochet into the next stitch. Just like that. Flip it over. 3 bobbles. It's okay if it kind of curls, because the next row will straighten that out. So we're going to repeat it again. We're going to bobble into the next stitch. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. 6 loops remain. Yarn over, go through all 6, give it a tug, and single crochet into the next stitch. Now I'm going to repeat this pattern until I get to the end of the row. Bobble, single, bobble, single, bobble, and your last stitch should be a single crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this to the end. All right, I'm coming to the end here. I just did my last bobble. I gave it a tug. I have 1 stitch left. I'm going to go ahead and single crochet into that last stitch, and that will end row 2. And you see how it's curling up? That's fine. If yours is doing that, don't worry about it. Now that will end row 2. Rows 2 and 3 are the repeat rows for the bobble stitch pattern. So what we're going to do now for row 3 is chain 1 and turn our work. We need to do single crochet across so we can get back to the other side of our work, so we can start doing bobbles again, because like I said, the bobbles are only worked on the back side. Right now we're on the front. If we work bobbles now, they're going to be on the wrong side. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 single crochet right here into that very first stitch, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet on top of the next bobble. So here's your bobble. If you flip it there, you'll be able to see, just go kind of right on top of it, single crochet, and then you need to single crochet in between the bobbles where that single crochet is, single crochet on top of the next bobble, single crochet there right in between the bobbles, single crochet on top of the next bobble, single crochet in between the bobbles. So we're putting 1 single crochet on top of every bobble and in every single crochet until we get to the end of the row. Just like that. It's okay if it's still curling a bit. The more rows you do, the more it'll straighten out. But that row right there, straighten it out a bit. And that's it. Now it's a repeat of just rows 2 and 3. So what we'll do is we'll chain 1 and we'll turn, and we're going to repeat the bobble row again, because we're working on the back side of our work, and that's where we need to do the bobble row when we're on the back side. So we start by single crocheting into that very first stitch, and then bobble stitch into the next. See how easy this can be? Working the bobble stitch makes nice textures for pretty much anything you want to make. If you want texture to your project that you're making, the bobble is the way to go. So remember to pull it tight, and then you just single crochet directly into the next stitch. And that's what we do. We just bobble single, and we just keep repeating rows 2 and 3 until you reach your desired size. And that's it. That's how you crochet the bobble stitch. Super cool looking. I love the bobble. I hope you guys enjoy my tutorial. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye-bye.